Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition, and I am joined by a kitty. He's like, I want to be on the desk. So if you see this fuzzy snake get in the way, it's just a cat. So anyway, we'll be doing privacy in this section, and we will also be doing a little bit of some discussions on security. So let's go ahead and get jumping on in. Matter is the name of a new project chip that the partnership promises to simplify your smart home. So there's actually a couple of different smart home technologies that are actively being used. There's some of them that are completely FOSS, and there's some of them that are like, no, we're deep end proprietary. And if Quint were on here, he'd be able to tell you which ones were which. I think HomeKit, I think, is one of them. And the other one is actually mentioned in the article down here near the bottom. That is Zigbee. So Zigbee and the other one I just mentioned, HomeKit, I think. I forgot, I might have that one wrong. But these two here have an open standard that works with FOSS applications and devices. So if you want to build a smart home, you want to do it with FOSS, that's cool. Well, this group is coming out and seeing all these differences in smart home technology coming down. They're saying, well, let's go ahead and standardize this. So it's a good thing in that you can pick the best device from each one of the platforms. It's a bad thing in that we're talking about now what this is essentially means is the complete takeover of the big tech into the smart IoT. So while it was still possible to get some old IoT devices out there that weren't necessarily tied to big data collection companies that put all your data in the cloud, that is now going to fade away. So any degree of smart home technology you might have wanted to have will fade away as this rolls out. But it is a new standard that they want to come in and start making a variety of changes and standardizations. So if you went, no matter if you're on an Apple, HomeKit, Amazon, Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm, Google Assistant, whatever else that would happen to be, then all of these things will play nice under whatever platform you are using. So I still think this is not the best part because we just don't need internet connected things. If it's FOSS and you know it's only connecting on a local network, that's a different case. But if it's tying into any server and most of the stuff does, that's generally more of a problematic thing. Vizio. Vizio is now a publicly traded company, and we have the first round of profits listed, and it turns out that they make more money selling you than they do selling televisions. So what happened here is there were a whole lot of obviously these Vizio smart TVs, they have cameras, they have microphones, they are listening, they are watching, they are logging the data that you have, and they are collecting all of this data and information, and then they are going to be sending it on out to all of their individual subscribers. And so basically what it turned into is that about half, a little over half of the revenue came from selling advertising, which is based on customized advertising based on your individual usage of your smart device, and a little less than half came from actually selling Vizio branded televisions. And so very interesting, net revenues of $505.7 million, gross profit of 82%. Investors have expressed concern about the company's ability to stay competitive with other streaming platforms, and Vizio's market debut performed at the low end of expectations. Stock is at $27.41 a share. So there we are, guys. If you happen to have a Vizio television, it is probably watching you, listening to you, recording what you do. Unless you're my friends, because I disabled all that crap. I open that bad boy up like, oh, look, there's the thing that transmits. Oh boy. Well, the opt-in numbers of iOS privacy nutrition labels is here, and it's quite telling. In fact, it's hilariously telling. Turns out that only this is iOS 14.5, but I think it's right around only 14% of people. Actually, I think that would be high. Right about 14% of people actually log in. So launch day is April 26th. if I can make that bigger. I don't think I can. Launch day is April 26th, only 11%, and they've gotten themselves up to 14%. I think 3% of them were scared that Facebook might actually finally start charging to use it. Oh my God, they might start charging to use it. We got to give them their data. But it does turn out that they're finding this is worldwide 5%. In the United States, apparently Americans are smarter than I gave them credit for. Only 5% of Americans are actually allowing the apps to access. Now, this is up from 2%. So again, what is this 3% doing? Are you guys listening to the book? The book's like, come on, guys, come on. So there we have it. Worldwide share of mobile app users with restricted app tracking is steady at 5%. Steady at 3%. Actually went from 4 down to 3 in the U.S. Restricted ad traffic. So yeah, it turns out that advertisers are a little bit frightened about this because it's like, oh, this is actually worse than we thought it was. So there you have it, guys. People are not actually using this. They're looking at this and going, if I have the option to opt out of privately collecting data, they are. Does this mean Facebook might start charging money? Good. Maybe more people will get off of that crap. WhatsApp will not delete accounts if you refuse to sign the Facebook data sharing policy, but they will be severely restricted. Non-signers accounts will eventually be all but useless. Now, there's some back and forth about this. So, of course, this is originally, I think they were going to delete the accounts who refused to sign the privacy policies. Now they're not going to delete them, but it's going to be extraordinarily limited. And this actually caused a little bit of a rustle over in Germany because Germany issues an emergency data collection ban against Facebook over the WhatsApp rules. Now, this was issued back when they were concerned accounts were going to get deleted. And there is a update to it as of, I think it was yesterday's update. WhatsApp spokesman reached out to TechSpot to clarify that the Hamburg DPA order does not impact WhatsApp update since the DPA is raising concerns about data processing by Facebook, and that's not currently happening, it's not planned. So there was a little bit of misunderstanding, but it is still enough that caused people to be concerned about this WhatsApp, Facebook combining data thing, because if you remember going way back, this was actually a condition to the sale of WhatsApp that they're not going to be merging data. And it turns out that yes, indeed, they are doing so. And so there's a little bit of back and forth here, but right now EU is looking at GDPR violations because of merging all this stuff together. So we'll kind of see what happens. And now we see our feature article on Signal trolling Facebook. So what Signal wanted to do, of course, if you remember from the Facebook leaks, we found out that Mark Zuckerberg actually uses Signal because WhatsApp, oh no. That's not private enough for me. And so Signal wanted to demonstrate just how much data Facebook actually collects. And so they start rolling ads putting in the data that they are checking for. And so you'd see this ad. You got this ad because you're a newlywed Pilates instructor and you're cartoon crazy. This ad used your location to see you're in La Jolla and you're into parenting blogs and thinking about LGBTQ adoption. Oh, there we have it, guys. So basically what they did is they narrowed these ads down. They found a whole lot of different things, grabbed something from each category the ad was focusing on and pushing out. And Facebook's like, no, you're not going to do that. That's like telling people the type of creepy stuff we actually know. We want to be stalkers without people knowing that we're stalkers, guys. Come on. And so that's really what happened here. And I believe, if I remember correctly, I think that Signal, I think their whole account was suspended, actually. So they created a variety of different things. Oh, look at that. The ad account was disabled. Wah. It's disabled because some of its let's see. This ad account and its ads and some of its advertising assets are disabled. You can't use it to run ads. So sad. So sad. But hey, at least maybe they're getting some headline articles here to demonstrate just how much information Facebook has about people. So here's a few other ones. These were on Instagram. You got this ad. Let's see, we did that one already. You got this ad because you're a certified public accountant in an open relationship. This ad used your location to see you're in South Atlanta and you're into natural skincare and you've supported Cardi B since day one. Wowzers. You got this ad because you're a goth barista and you're single. Oh, Lord. Goth barista. This ad used your location to see you're in Clinton Hill. You're either a vegan or lactose intolerant and you're really feeling that yoga lately. Oh, Lord. So yeah, there you go. So if you are not interested in Facebook/Instagram knowing this information, don't use their accounts. And, there's a thought to it. Anyway, if you want to help support the channel, I do have several affiliates. Today we are highlighting ExpressVPN. You can connect up to 5 devices on a single account, smartphones. You can hook up your computers. You can even hook up a router to have everything going through your network as through the VPN, and that counts as a single connection. You can go here, click the Get Started at the top when you land on the link at tlm.li/EV, and you can get for $100 12 months of the ExpressVPN. VPN will allow you to bust out of geolocations, anonymize your IP, and if you're Ben Shapiro, you think that it can actually block ISPs from seeing what you're doing. That's not entirely true. Once you log into Facebook, Facebook knows who you are. It doesn't matter what you're on. But nevertheless, if you are using insecured connections or you need to break out geolocations or have other needs for VPN, go ahead and have a look at ExpressVPN, tlm.li/EV. Let's go ahead and have a look at some security news next. And into the security news. First, the Apple Airtag has been jailbroken. So if you remember back to the first time I saw the Apple AirTags, I said, yeah, this is a stalker waiting to appear. And then Apple comes out and be like, yeah, we have some stalking technologies. One of these is if a particular AirTag is near a particular iPhone for any given period of time, it will start making audible noises. There's a lot of little odds and ends in there that they've done to make sure it's not getting used. Well, this guy doing the jailbreaking could get in here and reflash it and basically do away with all those things, therefore making your air tracker indeed a stalking device again. So the concerns are still there. That's why I think this is a little bit frightening. But he's basically able to get in there, jailbreak it, flash a custom OS onto it. Utilizing some code, he could manipulate a lot of the different features and functions. He could turn off vibrations, turn off sounds, all these types of things to effectively make it the very thing I said would be a problem, which is a stalking device. Ransomware crooks posts cops psyche evals after talks with DC Police stall. These ransomware guys are getting really emboldened, hacking police and like, I'm going to exploit the police. Like, oh, Lord. So anyway, in this case here, they're like, hey, we're going to release psych evals. It's kind of like the one a couple weeks ago. They were like, yeah, we're going to release your informant list. And then all of a sudden they like vanished. I think the CIA busted in the door or something. I don't know. But these guys have targeted DC's Metro Police Department. They've broken into there. They've gotten a hold of the psych evals for the police and things. They're like, we're gonna release them. So basically what the hackers are saying is there's some fairly incriminating stuff in there, and on our current world that's, shall we say, anti-police, then in what case we say this could be a problematic thing, but I don't know, guys. Here's the problem. We put absolutely everything on the internet and then expect incompetent buffoons who don't know anything about computers to keep the stuff safe, keep the password safe, keep software up to date, and things like that. That's all problematic stuff. We need to go back to the 80s where things were done in paper and filing cabinets, Really? What purpose is there to have all this information on a computer system somewhere? And we're getting this way with health records. We're getting this way with everything. And now, of course, they want to do everything all by phone apps and things. An ouchie tracker, I guess, is the biggest thing they want to do. Let's look briefly at the Colonial pipeline, because these hackers are really sorry and they apologize and they promise to ransom less controversial targets in the future. So the hackers are now apparently getting a conscience, I guess. So they say, we are apolitical. We do not participate in geopolicies. Of course, there are some tinfoil hat theories going around saying this is all orchestrated because it fits exactly into the Green New Deal stuff that certain political parties want to implement in this country. And some are coming down. Like, everyone knows, like, all of a sudden when this happened, all of a sudden the government, which wants to get involved in every little aspect and every little piece of detail, now it's like, well, we don't really want to get involved in the private sector. Really? The first time you don't want to get involved in the private sector ever? I mean, this is kind of insane. But, and then of course, one is like, well, if you guys had electric cars, then you wouldn't have to deal with this. Yeah, go tell it to people in Texas where their electric grid went out and gasoline was what they had to heat their house. So it's a bunch of weird nonsense, politicaling all over the place. Even though these guys say they're not political, everything turns into politics and politics ruins everything, right? And so that kind of is the thing that seemed to happen. They say, we are apolitical. We do not participate in geopolitics. We do not need to tie us with a defined government and look for our motives. Basically saying, was this a state actor? No, they're saying our goal is to make money and not creating problems for society. Well, they created problems for society because we had gas shortages and long lines and gas stations running out of gas and stuff down south. I did hear one report of a gas station in Altoona that ran out of gas. That's southern here, a little south of me. I didn't actually notice any change, although it might be too early to see any change. Except I did top off the cars last week just in case, because it could get a little bit creepy out there. So anyway, that's the case. But basically the hackers got in there. It's the dark side. I joined the dark side. They had cookies. I mean, really. But they hacked the pipeline. It caused them to have to shut the pipeline down, and this forced oil to have to go over the road instead of through the pipeline. And this, guys, is why the Keystone Pipeline is so important, just an FYI, because it prevents this type of stuff from happening. This is why it was really foolish for the Alzheimer's patient to do that and to shut that thing down. Not only did it damage the gasoline flow, it damaged several jobs and things like that. You say, well, what about the truckers? Yeah, you're not allowed to carry much fuel across the roads. All these people run around like, the truckers, there's plenty of jobs for truckers. Trust me. The reason people can't get trucker jobs is because they're too busy smoking it up, and you can't get a trucker license when you're smoking it up. Stop doing drugs. Stop doing drugs and go to work. Get up off your butt. But anyway, there's plenty of jobs for truckers when you find a person that's quite qualified. So anyway, these hackers over here, they do apologize. They're very, very sorry, cyber terrorists that have actually shut down significant portions of the country. So there you go. So here's from CNBC. Just a little bit of a timeline. The pipeline fell victim to a cybersecurity attack on Friday involved in ransomware, forcing it to temporarily shut down all pipeline operations. This is last Friday, not today. Colonial transports nearly half of the East Coast fuel supply through a system that spans 5,500 miles between Texas and New Jersey. It transports gasoline, diesel, home heating oil, and jet fuel. Also supplies the military. John Kilduff, a partner at, again, Capital in New York, said U.S. will see spot shortages of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel develop rapidly if outage persists. And the Alzheimer's patient was briefed on the incident Saturday morning and said, "Where's my bread muffin?" So there we have it. Again, in this case here is this is the type of thing you do need stuff online. Having your police psycho evals don't need to be on an online database. Okay, you're coordinating things over several cities and such. So But I guess the thing is pay your IT staff enough that, you know, if they had a good mitigation plan in effect, this wouldn't have impacted them. It wouldn't have. They were just like, oh crap, we just shut it down, reinstall from the backup 2 hours ago. Done. All right, sounds good. Been down for half hour. Everyone go on a half-hour coffee break while we reboot the system. But that's the type of stuff we need to do, guys. We need to be better at this. Well, you can help support the channel over on Patreon. I have a Patreon that covers a couple of different channels there. Join the 25 patrons to help support Switch to Linux. And with that, you can have a look over there, patreon.com/TOMM, and there is a link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.